Luther,
Jobina.
how many people do you think attend the largest mega church in the country, like on a weekly attendance basis? How many people?
Well, like, okay, one service or like through the weekend?
Through the weekend.
I'm going to say 50,000 people, yo.
Double it, my friend.
100,000?
Gateway Church is the largest non-denominational Christian megachurch in the country. 100,000
Is
people.
that Joel Osteen or no?
No. Joel is Lakewood. This
Lakewood.
is Gateway.
Where is Gateway?
It has multiple locations in one city, I think. But yeah, Gateway Church.
Who was the guy? Like, who was the pastoral leadership person?
Now, I didn't do that much research. You better start this show.
Let's start the show. Hey everyone, I am Luther Palmer, and this is One Episode Stand, the podcast that helps you figure out what to watch and what to ghost.
And I'm Jobina Scott. Each episode we watch and discuss the premiere of a new show, then move on to the next. You already know about one night stands, no strings, no commitments. This is like that, but for TV shows.
We also dig in some of the bigger issues these shows raise when you're not just watching, but actually paying attention. Jobina, we are going to get to the Righteous Gemstones, but tell the people what else you're watching.
I am watching the limited series multi-episode documentary Pee-wee as Himself on Max.
Oh.
Yeah, so this is Pee-wee Herman, and he fully admits that he is producing and editing and starring in his own documentary, and that is not what you're supposed to do. He's like, I know I have no perspective on my life, and you know what? I don't care. This is my story.
Is there a better name? It's not a documentary, right? I mean,
no. Maybe we should. If you just don't call it a documentary, maybe you can get past the fact that he's producing.
Is it a biopic?
No, because it is just it's a multi-episode limited seris. Like, I think you could just say it's a limited series about Pee-wee Herman. That's it.
And is it interesting? Like, what is interesting? Just give me one thing that's interesting about this guy.
That he dared to be different. He, like, being the character that he was, and how much of that character was like loosely connected to his real personality, was daring in that day and age. Like, I think that he was comfortable with himself. He was okay with being quirky. He was okay with being weird. He was okay with being different. And that is, I think, the appeal of Pee-wee Herman.
What has he been doing for the last 30 years?
Well, so I need to, like, I'm really in the first few minutes of the first episode.
I have questions that I need answers to.
I'm not going to be able to answer them for a few weeks. But I think he is deceased.
Oh, like, that's a plot twist.
I'm worried that he is deceased. I have not looked up all the facts on the show, but I think he is gone.
But to your knowledge, what else did he do beside this, like, 4-year window?
No, nothing. But it like,
was he a stock trader?
Iconic.
Was he an insurance salesman? Like how did he survive?
Oh, he was in random movies. So he was in, like, the movie Matilda. He was playing, like, a random FBI agent. Like, he was just playing bit parts in movies. Like, I don't think he really did anything of any significance.
Oh, he wasn't Pee-wee Herman in that movie.
No, he was just Paul Rubin, I think is his name.
Paul Rubin. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay, Righteous Gemstones. So here's the thing about this show. This is season what?
4. Season 4.
Season 4.
Mm-hmm.
And you suggested this show. You've been watching all the seasons. And I said, I'm going to just jump into season 4, episode 1. I guess I tried to watch it a few years ago. It didn't really stick to me. It didn't
stick.
But then episode 1 of season 4 is something, they call it the preface. It is something totally different than their normal.
It's a huge departure from the show.
Because, okay, so the show is about a family of Christian church leaders, mega church leaders, right? Mm-hmm. In episode 1, they go back to, like, pre-Civil War times to kind of show how the family got started in religious leadership and it's not funny. Like the actual Righteous Gemstones
No.
is kind of comical and hilarity ensues. There was no hilarity ensues in the first episode.
No.
So we decided to break all the rules again, and we're actually doing season 4, episode 2, because in episode 2 they return to the style and cadence of the first 3 seasons.
Correct.
Did I sum it up accurately?
You summed it up beautifully.
Okay. Tell us where we can find the Righteous Gemstones. What do we know about it?
So you can find the Righteous Gemstones on Max. Of course, you've already said they're in season 4. It's got a pretty star-studded cast. And it is, again, it's about this family that is like, they are not the smartest. They're not the holiest. They are kind of a mess.
Right.
But they are leading the people to the Lord.
And I think the first thing that jumps out in the show is this juxtaposition of, we are religious leaders, but we curse a lot, and we
profusely.
say
whatever.
All the words.
Yes, they are quite profane.
Right, you're like, oh, okay. Jobina, where are you on cursing? You are a devout Christian.
Devout.
Where do you stand on cursing?
I try not to do it. I try not to do it because I know that kids pick up on everything. And I don't want my kids cursing, getting themselves in trouble, influencing somebody else's child. Like, I just try not to do it.
But wait, are you saying if you didn't have kids, you'd be cursing like a sailor?
I mean, maybe I'd just be a gemstone. I don't know, but I try not to. I do.
Huh.
And you think it's quite all right.
They're just words. I have
For all
never
people.
understood. And my wife and I, this was one of our premarital disagreements, because we didn't have kids, before we got married. And I had said, like, I'm not going to mind cursing around my kids. I'm not going to mind my kids cursing. Now, she made this point that if your kids curse, they'll be ostracized. They won't be invited to other people's houses. And it's one of these things where I feel like, well, fine, fuck them. Like, if they don't want my kids over because of some words, then I don't want my kids going over there. I don't know. The world, we find ways to, I think this comes out of the sense that we're all trying to shortcut judgments about people.
Correct.
And cursing is like, oh, he's cursing. That means this about this person.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean anything.
Well, and in this case, I guess it did not mean that these people don't have a strong relationship with God, that they are not fully able to lead a ministry, because they regularly, all the time, they are regularly engaged in cursing.
So do you get the sense that this show is mocking religious leadership, or
in
mocking
a way,
Christianity?
Certainly the show is not persecuting Christians, if that's where we're headed. No, but I think they are saying, like, not every religious leader is holding themselves to a high standard, should be put on a pedestal. Like, these are real people. They are real people. And in the case of this family, they are real people who have lots of problems, lots of issues, are not perfect, and yet they are still in the business of running church.
As a Christian, though, did you, like, how do you feel, like, did you feel any sense of, whoa, this is a lot, or
no,
they are making fun of something that is
sacred, or
sacred? Anything?
No, because I feel like people in general have to operate with a level of, like, discernment and understanding. This is a fictional show about a fictional family. This is not a referendum on Christianity. If you know, I like my pastor. I think he's great. Like, I'm not thinking that he's under attack. My church is under attack. My faith is under attack because of this show. This show is just a fictional depiction of a family that, I think some of these situations are highly likely for religious leaders because they are people, and it's okay. Like, it's funny.
Okay. So what is the show about? We've kind of talked about it, but, like, what would you say the show is really about, though?
Yeah, I think the show is really about, maybe it's about the humanity of any leader. Like, these are people who are leading a mega church. They're leading people to God, and they are very human. They face all the same challenges, all the same problems. And I would say within this particular episode, like, we're like, we meet the dad. So the dad is Eli Gemstone. We meet him on a boat in the middle of nowhere in the ocean, getting away from his life. He's retired. He's left the mega church. And he's in the middle of some debauchery. Like, when we meet him, he is saying, he's saying goodbye to a lovely lady who he spent the evening with. He is
Jobina,
getting drunk.
She says, if you don't like me, just say it. And
he does.
Says, I don't like you.
He goes,
have you ever been that honest in a breakup before?
No, never. I mean, she asked for it and she got it. And he was so relieved, though, because he was definitely, his first instinct was to try to sugarcoat it, to say I'm working out some things, and then she just said, look, if you don't like me, and he was relieved to be able to say, I don't.
Okay, so then that brings up the question, would you like someone to be that honest with you in a breakup?
I mean, I'll say yes and no. Like, will it be hurtful and painful? Like, she didn't like what she heard. But she also knows without a shadow of a doubt, she does not need to go back to her place and psychoanalyze every move and like wonder what he meant by XYZ statement. She doesn't have to go back and have another rendezvous with him and think like, is this really going somewhere? She knows. So I would say like, yeah, would I love it in the moment? No. But would I be grateful for it? I think so.
Right.
I think so.
And I think that's where a lot of my truthfulness comes from. People say, oh, you just say what's on your mind, you speak such, you can be so harsh.
Yeah.
And it comes from this place of, I think people are appreciative of that.
Yeah, I think in the long run they're appreciative of it. Think in the
right. I'm playing the long game here, Jobina.
You are. I think in the short run it is painful, and in the long run, like, at least they know where they stand.
Right. And I guess this is one of the deeper themes of the show for me, is him getting away, because the show then is about the kids kind of calling him back and requesting his presence for this celebration of their mom, his wife's life.
Right.
And it sort of speaks to this, and at first he doesn't want to, but they just cajole him into, like, it's really childish way.
We'll talk about their profanity, like the way they get him to say yes.
What was the word that they were saying?
Oh, they just kept saying pussy. Like they were like, Dad.
Right.
He's like, I hate it. And they're like, we're not going to stop, Dad, until you acquiesce.
Right. But it raises ridiculous. The question, right. It raises the question of, like, what can we really step away from in our lives? Because he had put, let's say 2 decades, 3 decades of his life into this. And he could never get away. And I remember this person, I don't even know who said it or when, but they're talking about, even in our marriages, if we could just take a break from our marriages from a year, we would all be better off. If we could take a break from our jobs for a year, we'd all be better off.
People do, yeah.
But so many of us are like, we cannot stop. We cannot get away. What would which of your children would you like to get away from?
Please stop it. I'm not going to get away from any of them, and they're not going to get away from me. Right. They might be like, it'd be great a few weeks away from you, but they're not going to get away.
Speaking of that, my kids are going to summer camp next week for the first time.
Oh, wow. Sleepaway camp.
So they are going to be away.
Wow. I remember the first time I sent my daughter to sleepaway camp, like, they don't allow, I don't know if the rules are the same everywhere, but they don't allow you to communicate with your kid.
Oh.
So for a whole week, they don't have, they don't have their phone. Well, I was so concerned. They don't have their phone. You can email them, but they can't email you back. Like, they are really trying to teach your kid independence. And so there is no communication. So for an entire week, I had no idea how she was doing. And I was sick. Like, I got physically sick. I had to take a day off of work. I was like, I just can't function. I don't know how my child is doing. And then the second summer, she was
having
like,
the
Mom,
time of her life.
The time of her life. Well, they have this. So if your camp has this app, it's called Campion, and they will, you put, like, talk about modern technology. You put a picture of your child in the app. And then with face identification, it will send, they take pictures of kids all day, every day. It will send you every picture there is of your child. But these are not posed pictures. So, like, the first picture I get, it's of me and her in the cabin. I'm like, I don't need this. I know how she was doing when I was standing next to her.
Oh, right.
The next picture I get, she's kind of in line and she's got kind of a grimace on her face. And I'm like, oh God, is she okay?
Like, my goodness.
It was so hard. So good luck to y'all. I hope they let you talk to them.
I will be 100% fine.
You'll be fine. You'll be like, oh my God, it's Friday already.
Right.
They've been gone a week.
But getting away, even from family, I guess sometimes you just want to just.
And what do you think is behind that? Like, what is the human need that is behind that? Behind the need to get away?
Well, I think in his case, and I hear this, Jobina, I hear this all the time when it comes to married couples, where one person takes on the emotional labor of the family. And it's exhausting. And it was clear that this dad took on the intellectual and emotional labor.
Well. They're not
ridiculous,
well.
Right? They're ridiculous.
Up. They're ridiculous.
And I think over time that just wears on, like, whether it's your job, whether it's your family, whether it's your relationship, whatever it is, it just takes a toll when you are carrying all this burden and you want to get away. And that's even more reason why they're like, no, come back.
Come back because they can't
him.
He's the glue. Yeah, he is the glue.
Yeah. Okay. We kind of skipped over. How does the show look, sound, and feel? It's a humor, right? Did you say
it's a comedy?
It's a comedy because of the dysfunction, right? The dysfunction is what makes it comical.
It's the comedy.
They're like, each of the kids has a life outside of their circle, and there's a lot of different storylines.
Yeah.
I think we talked before about how sitcoms sometimes they have like an A story and a B story. Mm-hmm. This had like a C.
This was A through H.
Yes. Right.
Yeah, well, and for someone who's watched the show for 4 seasons, I can kind of follow because I know the characters. But it's like all the main characters, their kids, like the Uncle Baby Billy, who, I adore. I love this actor so much. But yeah, everybody has their own thing
do
going
you
on.
love him because he did full frontal nudity in this episode?
No, I was really concerned about it. Okay, so but this is the new wave of risque. The last several shows that I have watched in a quest to find something I'm on at least 3 shows that have like extended periods of full frontal male nudity. And I think this is like the next frontier for like, how do we make our show relevant? How do we make it risque?
Right.
It is that. And I was
think
like, wow.
Netflix is probably prompting you like, oh, if you like that full frontal nudity, here's another show.
But this has been on different platforms. I'm telling you, it is the next thing.
Jobina, how much would they have to pay you to do full frontal nudity? Let's say you're an actress. Let's say you're in Hollywood. You're not an A-lister, but you're like kind of known. How much would they have to pay you to do full frontal nudity?
Okay, so I'm not going to answer your question. I'm gonna get there. So you've heard of actors who, for example, will not do love scenes, will not do any nudity, and it's like built in all of their contracts, and they're like, look, if this limits my ability to skyrocket to the top in Hollywood, it just limits it. And
some people said they wouldn't do gay scenes either. That was a part of it.
Well, exactly. So there are actors who put into like their contracts. There are just some things I wouldn't do. I would hope that I would be that type of actress. Mm-hmm. And potentially for a life-changing amount of money. I mean, I would be worried about like one day my kids are going to see this. They're going to know this is how we went from we skyrocketed to wealth and fame.
Do you think they'll care?
They might. I mean, I think that kids, I think kids hold their parents to an impossible standard because they don't think of you as human.
But that doesn't mean you have to try to live up to it.
But I mean, I don't know. You're trying to set this example for their little humanity and try to help them make really good choices. Like I don't know. What about LP? Luther is an actor. He is playing Uncle Baby Billy. They say, okay,
right.
Uncle Baby Billy, you are now going to disrobe from the waist down, and we're gonna have the camera on you for quite some time. How much?
I don't know. If they brought me free lunch, I don't know. I might do it. Can I get an extra cookie at lunch?
Your standards.
No, only because, and I think we talked about this before with like the nude beach, right? I just, nudity isn't this thing to
It's
be
not a thing
afraid
for
of
you.
or worried about, or my kids. Like, my kids are not going to watch the show. Like if there was a show that your mother was naked on, you just wouldn't watch it. But you wouldn't be like, oh my God, my mother is apostate. How could she do this? Especially from a mansion, right? Like we're living in a mansion because of the decisions I made as an adult star.
You're like, y'all better be grateful.
Right. It reminds me of the comedians who tell jokes about their kids as a part of their act. And they say, like, what's the kid going to do? Complain from his BMW?
Right, when I picked them up from private school, like, get out of here.
Right. So they're trying to get the dad to come back for this telethon.
A telethon.
For the mother's death, right?
Right. But here's what, so as an avid watcher of this show, here's what I knew about his resistance to return. This was he was not being callous. He wasn't like not loving his dead wife. She has been dead for a very long time. So this is an annual event. Like they are milking their followers for cash over the death of their mom, who has been gone a very long time.
I thought the reson he left is because she had recently died, and he was trying to get away from it all.
No. She has been gone. From the very first, from season 1, episode 1, she has been dead.
Are you serious?
Yes. She's never been a character except in flashbacks. She has been
that
gone.
Changes the whole ridiculousness
he was like,
of this
I don't
episode.
want to do this again. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I looked up, okay, what is the most famous telethon that you can remember when we growing up?
Okay, I know it's Jerry Lee Lewis, but don't get me to lying about the cause.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to ask you. Do you even remember? Did you ever give any money to these people?
No, of course not. No, I feel like I can remember them being on TV.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I don't think my parents ever gave anything. It just was.
Mm-hmm. It was for muscular dystrophy.
Oh, okay.
Jobina, do you know how much money they raised? I think they did it 45 years.
Okay, was it? Okay, I'm going to say north of $1 billion for 45 years. They
even that number, I would never have guessed they raised $1 billion in 40 years. They raised $2.45 billion. What? Not for muscular dystrophy, for one organization.
No.
That does muscular dystrophy. And I don't know if it's research. Jobina, muscular dystrophy still exists. No, you're asking the question I was going to ask. No, it's not cured.
People are still suffering from muscular dystrophy, and the people in that organization have led some lovely lives.
They have led all the lives.
Yes,
$2.45 billion.
Organization. That's crazy.
We still I'm not even sure muscular dystrophy has any advanced technology or insight above other things that
right, exactly. It's not even like it was like, did it spur on good research? Like, are there better treatments?
MS,
are there
Alzheimer's? All of these things never had a telethon, and we're all struggling with them today. I don't. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe muscular dystrophy is not as big of a deal as it would have been without the 2.5.
Maybe.
But that is crazy.
That's wild.
I don't even know anyone did you watch it, or was it just something that you just like?
No, it's just something that I can remember being on, but I don't ever remember really dialing into it.
I don't think I did either. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Anything else that came up for you in the show?
Well, I mean, at the end of the show, the dad, Eli, he makes this decision to pursue at least what we think will be a relationship with a friend of their family, like someone who's really close to his wife. Of course, his wife is dead, but she returns for the telethon. Like, she's singing on the telethon. And when he first meets her, when he first sees her, he's sort of awkward. He shakes her hand. She's like, what is that? Like, she's a family member. Like, she's aunt whoever to the kids. And when we say kids, like kids in air quotes, these people are grown. Like, they are his grown, wacky children. Right. But he's watching her sing on the telethon, and there's just a shift. Like, his loins
start speaking to him.
Now, I was about to say his heart, and you said, God, dog, you were the worst. Yeah, he's like, oh, well, there's something there.
But this changes things because I have been thinking that the wife recently died. But you're saying she's been dead a long time.
Been gone.
So this is open season, right? Like,
you think it's
there's a statute of limitations on your wife's friends.
On the friend. Well, and so, but he's feeling, I think, a certain way about it because they're trying to be like a little bit clandestine, I think, because they're concerned. They're concerned. But he definitely falls for her.
I mean, if my wife dies tomorrow and then 2 days later I'm dating her best friend, everyone's going to be thinking, okay, you guys were
there was something there.
Before.
Well before.
Right. But if I wait 7.5 years, like what is the time?
People are still going to think like, yeah, but there are other fish in the sea. Like, why'd you have to pick her?
Yeah, but at what point do you stop caring? Like at what point do you stop caring what people think about your relationship?
And who you're with love. And like when you go for love. And that's broader than like who you pick. Like when do you not care? I mean, I think most people, by the time they have fallen for someone, they don't care. They don't care. Yeah. In the same way that we've talked about the fact that like, who do you know whose family has ever told them not to marry someone that was like, okay, I won't. I hear you guys. Like happened. Once you have fallen in love with someone, I think people they're going to pursue it no matter what, because it feels like, yeah, this is the opportunity. This is the chance to be with this person that is so magnanimous and so the right person for them.
I mean, Jobina, with dating being in the weird place that it is right now, it's hard to find love.
Yeah.
If you see the person,
don't you have to go for it?
Yeah, I think. Don't you have to?
Yeah, I mean, I think people do, and he did.
He did. Yeah. So did he date in previous seasons? Was he getting his man on?
No. Oh, no. I mean, not that I can remember at all. No, he was very much patriarch of the family, trying to keep his kids in line, running the church. Like, I think.
But I'm sure the women of the church were throwing the draws at him.
But they don't give you a lot of insight into like people in the church. Like the people in the church are just really like a throng of extras. They don't interface a lot with them.
Right. But you know what I thought?
It's a mega church.
You know what I thought? I thought the people being made fun of in this series are the church members.
Yeah, it's not the pastor and his family.
Because this is obviously a ridiculous leadership team. And yet
and y'all keep coming and giving your money.
And y'all keep coming.
Yes.
And they're laughing at their quirkiness. And I guess I thought that, so the criticism of Christianity is that they're all sheep, right? They're just following whatever their leader says. They're not thinking. I thought, if anything, it wasn't Christianity being mocked. It's church people, like the people in the pew who go along with, oh man, I mean, if you just look out there in the real world of the tele-evangelist and the miracle healers and the buy this holy oil for $6
cloth and all this stuff.
And these people are making millions of dollars on the backs of people's belief. And I guess, to skip ahead to more or less, I guess I would like to, I don't know, just to like, what, like, how are you sitting in the audience and accepting this behavior?
Accepting this group of people, yes.
From
ridiculous behavior.
Yeah, that was the part that was weird to me, I think.
As your spiritual leaders.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But a lot of these mega churches, though, they grew from really small ministries. So they started off with like a small group of people who knew and believed in this family. And it grows from there. But I think they maintain a sense of loyalty to this group and the prosperity of the full ministry. I think sometimes people think that's imbued on them. Like, I am a part of this prosperous thing, even though they're not.
Have you ever been to a mega church?
I have. I've been to Lakewood in Houston.
Oh,
I have been many times to Lakewood.
Really?
Yeah. I like it. I like it. If you want an inspirational talk about how to, live a good life and be kind to others and believe in yourself and know that God is for you, Lakewood is your spot. And they have the best music. Like, I mean, when you are producing a church service at that level with that much money, it is fantastic. Like, it's really good. It's really good.
I went to the Potter's house in Dallas
you did.
one time. This is 25 years ago, probably. I went to the Potter's house. It was amazing.
It's fantastic.
At the end of his sermon, he called for homosexual men who wanted to get out of homosexuality. Like he was doing a pray the gay away, right?
No.
Which is horrible, right? Which is horrible.
No.
But he had 100 guys come down.
Wow.
To get prayer to stop being gay.
No.
And I was like, what is happening right now?
What is happening here?
Like, are people confessing?
Gosh.
Like, it's like if I'm there, if you're there with your husband or something and he goes down for the special prayer, are you like, what?
This is news to me. Oh, goodness gracious. Stop it with that, church people. Please stop.
Yeah. And I don't know what T.D. Jakes' position is now on homosexuality. I mean, I would even call myself homophobic back in those days. I mean, it was a long time ago. I just had never thought, I hadn't thought my way out of homosexuality.
Well, and T.D. Jakes has left the church to his daughter.
He did.
Because he had a stroke recently and is very sick, but he was also being called out in the whole Sean Diddy Combs.
Oh, he was. Yes.
So, and that is, I mean, isn't that always the case? Someone who's trying to get you to pray the gay away is
right. Has their own demons. Okay, more or less. I'm also going to say I need less storylines. They just, like I said, each family member had a storyline, and then some of the family spouses, like one of the guys was doing pole dancing as a hobby. That was a storyline. I'm like, can we just rein this back in? Like, this is too much.
The kids, including Pontius, favorite name of the show. Pontius was the son of one of the.
I had to do a double take.
Yes, his name is Pontius, and even he had a storyline.
Pontius.
Whoever picked that name, brilliant writer, so funny. I'm like, this is the best.
What a story from the Bible to Pontius Pilate. Okay, what you say more or less for you?
I just want more of their shenanigans. Maybe, I mean, because we talked about why we skipped over season 1. I thought it was interesting, and if they were going to dedicate a whole season to a more serious look at the history of the family, I would have been okay. Episode 1, sorry.
Yeah.
If they were going to dedicate a whole season to the sort of serious evolution of this family and how they got there, I would have been okay with that. But putting that on top of the ridiculousness that is the typical show, I could have done without that. I think stick to what you're good at, which is this nutty family and all their shenanigans. I love to see it, and I want more of it all the time.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna give you Marry, Kill, One Night Stand. What is the dad's name?
Eli.
I'm gonna give you Eli.
I mean,
let's put you at Eli's age. He's an older man. Let's put you at Eli's age.
Oh, okay. That changes a lot because Eli was about to go.
Right. You interact with him on a boat in Miami. Are you into it?
Yeah. If I find out how wealthy Eli is, and if he's willing to go no prenup, I am going to the chapel. If he's
willing to go no prenup,
I'm going to the chapel.
What?
Because I am healthier than Eli. I think I will outlive him, and then that lovely home and all of their riches will be mine.
But then you have to deal with the kids.
I mean, they are insane. Maybe not. Maybe I'm still going to kill him. Okay, and speaking of the kids, I'm going to give you Judy Lee Gemstone.
No, I don't. Okay, I'm going to have to do a
She's
quick
the
Google search.
So there's only one daughter. So it's the two sons, the older and the younger, and then Judy Lee is the middle child.
Oh no, I'm picking. Wait, it's funny because it's been about a week since I've seen the episode, so I forgot all the faces and all. This is an immediate no. Like seeing her character, she's so ridiculous. Like there's nothing appealing about her demeanor, her character, nothing.
Her style is terrible. Like they did a really good job of, to your point, making her wholly unappealing. Everything about her.
Yeah, that's a hard pass for me.
It's a hard pass.
I'm gonna have to kill her. Okay, anything else that comes up for you?
No.
Are you gonna continue watching?
Of course, I'm going to continue watching. This is my show. I have loved it from season 1, episode 1, where they were literally baptizing a whole bunch of people in a wave pool, and the wave pool accidentally came on. I was like, I'm going to love this. I'm going to love it. It is so funny. And it's the perfect break from my life and reality. That's how I'm getting away. Yes. I love it.
I'm gonna say no. So, and I guess let me add to this, because let me add some more or less. I could watch this show if it was more credible. Like if they weren't so ridiculous. It just makes the whole thing. It just, to me, the jokes don't land because I don't know who they're mocking, right? Like I don't know who's the butt of the joke. So then it's just people being ridiculous, but still maintaining status and power and control in their ridiculous. And I'm just like, Jobina, the whole thing is lost on me.
Really?
The whole thing is lost
appeal.
on me.
Oh,
in fact, I would more soon watch a series of how they did episode 1, where they went back and showed.
You would watch that, yeah.
Because it was, and I guess there were a couple moments of levity, but it wasn't this notion of we are wholly undeserving of this, but yet here we are still very wealthy, very rich, that whole thing.
Except Elijah Gemstone, the original Gemstone, was also wholly undeserving of at least his station. Like he was not rich, but he had literally just murdered the actual minister, bashed his head in and then assumed his identity. Like he was not an awful person in a different way.
So let me change the wording. It's not that they're unworthy. It's that, one of the terms that's come up recently is that like Americans have failed an open book test, right? Like we know who, I'll just say this guy, like we know who this guy is. We had seen him before. There was an open book test and Americans failed it. It's one thing to fail a test where a guy is being shifty or a guy is, you don't know the whole story, you don't know the whole truth. That's how Elijah was in the first episode. This probably sounds confusing, right? The origins in the Civil War. The Righteous Gemstones in the modern day, it's an open book test. Like they're on stage being petty and ridiculous and not funny and just backstabby.
Awful. Yeah.
And yet the audience is failing this open book test. That's why I say they're unworthy in that this would never, ever, ever happen. At the level that it has to happen for them to get these jokes on this show. So I was just like, I'm good on it. Okay.
To each his
now,
own.
Thank you all for listening to one episode stand. If you enjoyed this episode, you can subscribe to the podcast to be alerted when episodes drop. If you're listening on iTunes, please help others find our podcast by giving us a rating. The theme music is Freedom by Paradox Hip Hop. And we'll be back next time with another series premiere. Jobina, let's end on this. Every story has a moral. What was the moral of this episode?
If your pastor and his pastoral staff curse like sailors, take drugs, like all these things, if they're inviting you to a telethon for a past church member who's been gone for decades, like please just question, just question whether or not this is the church for you. Just ask yourself.
My parents always went to this really small church, and in our denomination, they would send a lot of young pastors to start out at the small church, right? Because there wasn't a lot of money to be gained or lost by pastoring this church, so they could be challenged. So they had some horrible pastors come through there. The stories they have about the people who came through there and the level of ridiculousness was astounding. And to the Righteous Gemstones point, the people stayed. And they suffered through it. I remember one time a pastor was giving a goodbye, like a farewell. And the people said, we thought he was saying he was leaving the ministry because he realized it wasn't for him. But no, he was just going to a different church. They thought he was like building up to say, and for these reasons, I am quitting the ministry. It is clearly not for me. But he was like, no, I am moving on. I am moving up.
I'm just
bigger,
leaving
better
here.
Things. Right. I am leaving here. Y'all are the problem, not me.
Yeah. Don't you think, though, that people in small churches, I think that it's because for them, the church is theirs. The minister can come or go. The church is theirs. They're not leaving. The church belongs to them.
Yeah. And in many ways, our denomination treats that differently because the pastor didn't start the church. In many small churches.
Not like he's the founder.
Right. They started the church, so you're either with him or you're not. But in our denomination, that pastor is only going to be there for 4 or 5 years. Mm-hmm. Right. So, okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.